Hi all and welcome back to number 8. Okay, so if you can return to the page Delivery Methods Analysis, it should look something like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy this top visual. So data skills completion rate, right click, copy visual. I'm going to create a new page and we're going to paste it, just Control V. Okay, and it'll go straight into the very top there. We're going to rename this page Data Skills by year. Okay. Right then. So next we're going to add a card. Remember the card is 5 along, 4 down. And on that card, we're going to add delivery method. So within your DEC report, delivery method. And I'm going to tuck this card over. Now, when we add in a card, which is a text field, the default is first. So it gives you the first one in that list. But we're going to change that from first to count. So just next to in the actual build visual at first, drop that down and count, not count distinct. Remember, that's something a bit different. We're going to format this card. We're going to make it height 150, width 300. So in properties, height 150, width 300. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our delivery method as a filter on top of it. So go back to your build here. We've got the field count of delivery method, and we're going to add a little filter onto here. So we're going to go back to delivery method, and we're going to drag it into filters on this visual. It should automatically come up as basic filtering. If it comes in as advanced filtering, just change it back to basic. And on this particular one, we just want hybrid. So we're now going to tidy up the card a little bit. So back to format. We'll start by adding a title, turn the title on, just put hybrid. Do our usual, you're all experts by now, so effects, visual border and shadow. We'll tidy up the title so it matches everything else. I'm doing mine as 16, text color white, background, my teal, that's the right color, horizontal alignment. And as I say, I prefer having a title rather than this category label. Turn that off, and I'm going to tuck it up there. Okay. So what it's saying is that is the count of hybrid delivery. We're going to copy this visual and paste it 3 times. So copy visual, Control V 3 times. And I'm going to tuck them along there. You get these, I don't know if anybody's done any Photoshop or whatever, a similar sort of idea. You get these sort of guidelines that pop up to tell you when it's in, when it's aligned and so on. You can also use format and align, but that's quite neat. And then I'm going to distribute them horizontally. I'll get it right this time. So I'm going to go select the first one, hold Control, that one, and that one. I'm going to go format, align, distribute horizontally. It's now pixel perfect. Obviously, we don't want 4 visuals about hybrid. Leave the first one alone, go into the next one. And what we'll do is straight into the filters, delivery method filter, change from hybrid to in person. We can update the title while we're here. So format, general, title, change hybrid to in person. Next one along, into your filters on this visual, change hybrid to online. Update my title. And on the 4th one, in the filters on the visual, change hybrid to self-directed. And also update the title. All right. So now what we've got a breakdown on data skills completion rate by college and delivery method. We've got a breakdown on the different delivery methods, and this is giving us really specific values on each. It's much easier for the reader to see. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add another visual. The default visuals that come with Power BI are great. There's loads and loads in there, but actually there's hundreds more available as well. I'm just going to show you one just now. At the bottom of your list of visuals, you've got these little 3 dots where it says, if you hover over it, get more visuals. So we'll go on there, get more visuals, and you'll get this little pop-up Power BI visuals. Now, what these are, the vast majority of them are free add-ins, and different people have thought, oh, do you know, something's missing, I'd quite like to design something, and they chuck it in here. There's loads to play with. But what I'm going to use is a thing called a play axis. So you can just search for it, play axis, and you'll see that. Select it. Patience. Add. Give it a second or so, and it will automatically go there. You can see a little one there. So I'm going to select that. And with this one, I'm actually going to make it nice and along there. So I'm going to grab the end of that, drag it right along. And now it's just a visual. It's just like any of the other visuals there. So we need to build it. We need to put a field in there. And the field that I'm going to add into this is year. So what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to go into my format. I'll do my usual tidy up there. So I'll take effects, I'll put my visual border and shadow on. On the visual itself, I quite like the colours, it's up to you. So let's pick a few colours, and because I've got a range of blues up here, I'm going to go for a range of purples. Just 1, 2. Slightly subjective, but I quite like doing it this way, there, and then it's just a nice monochromatic range of visuals. Another thing is under animation settings. Remember, the visual options are visual specific, and this is a little bit different, this one. So under animation settings, I'm going to activate loop. And at the moment it's set to 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second. I'm going to change that to 2,000. All right. Now hit play. It's just play, pause, stop, start, hit play. Everything going well. What it's done is it's taken the various years within the report, and it is visually turning it into a little video, I suppose. So as it's playing through the little filter that we've put on, it's gone from 21 to 22 to 23, and everything's updating. It's quite cool, that. Anyway, press stop, and I'll show you something called edit interactions. What we're going to do is we're going to make another copy of this data skills completion rate, so I can show you the comparison of the 2 ways of doing the interactions. So right click, copy visual, and paste. And I'm going to take that and put that down there. I'm also going to move that up a wee bit so it's nice and tidy. Bit nippy this to move around, but that'll do. There we go. Now, if I just play once and pause, as it goes through the different filtering, and in this case on year, what's happened is it is filtering these visuals down, and it's highlighting the specific years. But we've got another option. Make sure that your play axis is highlighted, and we're going to go up to format again, and this time edit interactions. And what you should see is you should see these little options popping up on some of them. You can't do it on everything, but on some of them. And you'll see on the column charts there are two options. And if I hover over it, the default one is highlight, but we've got another one there, filter. Just for comparison, leave the top column chart as is, but on the bottom one, change it to filter. And then turn off edit interactions. There's occasions when highlight's more appropriate. There are occasions when the filter's more appropriate, but play your play axis again now and you'll be able to see the difference. So what's happening this time on the bottom one where we changed it to filter, rather than it just highlighting and leaving the rest in sort of faded in the background, it's really emphasising the difference between the different years. Totally subjective. It's worthwhile showing you the difference on the two of them, but there we go. Right then. The only thing we really need to do now is to show you how to share the thing. Because what's the point of doing it all unless you're sharing it off with somebody else? So sorry, I'm just leaving notes here just so that I follow the video along properly. File save. It'll ask you to in a minute anyway if you haven't, but you're as well just to save it. Ignore the little thing, it's just doing it in the background. And we'll go up to home. All we've been working with so far is the desktop version, which is where we do all the transformation and create the visualizations and so on. But I'm sure after all the work you've put in, you'd like to share it with somebody else. So we're going to publish it. So on the Home tab, go along to Publish. And you won't have Power BI reports or sustainability. It's just something else I've added in. You should just see My Workspace. I tend to use that more than anything. It's double click on there and it will start publishing. Takes a second or so. It's a big old file, so just be patient with it and so on. And then, oh, success. If you have published a report and then you want to republish it, in other words, if you've had some changes, you want to republish it, you'll get a little warning. It will say, oh, this report may impact on one, and just accept it because it's basically just overwriting the one you've already got. So if I open that one up, it opens in a thing that's now called Microsoft Fabric, used to be called Power BI Service, same idea, and everything going well. You should have all your different pages published up there, data scales by year, delivery methods analysis, STQF breakdown, first dashboard, and that's it online. Now, something to note. Look on the right-hand side there. The person you're sharing that with can activate the filters and so on, but what they can't do is see your original data. That's really important. Particularly with this data we've got, if it was real, we may have student names, numbers, things like that we don't want to share. So we can kind of, by doing it this way, share the report of the number of students, the breakdown, the STQF, but we're not sharing any personal information. To share it all multiple ways. One thing that's a little bit kind of awkward is sharing out with organizations, as we'll just cover. If I go to the first one there, share, I can copy the link and send it off. I can share through Teams and so on. But unless you have one of the all singing, all dancing licenses, it's really just people in your organization. You can share out with, but they also need to have Power BI. I'm going to show you a couple of options there. So if I, for instance, wanted to share it in Teams, do that quite a lot. Just open that up. And it does take, obviously, with all these things, a little bit of patience. Put the name, oh, John and David, people have shared with in the past. You can put a little bit, choose who you're going to share it to. You can add a little bit of text in there, hit share, and it'll go to their Teams. That's all. Okay, so leave that. There we go. Another way, and this is something that I do with all the level 7, particularly students, because as and when their license runs out, when they leave Edinburgh College, obviously a lot of them want to keep this. They want to be able to show it as a portfolio piece. So if you get export, you've got two options there. PowerPoint. Now, this is really handy for presenting your work. work. You can actually embed the live data. So if you were to click that one, it would then create a PowerPoint slide for each of your different dashboards, which would be live. So you could filter and show and play access and so on like that. If you just wanted to send it as a static image, embed an image, and then it's almost like a screenshot, but it's a high-def screenshot of the dashboards as they are. We've got one further option there, PDF, and again, that's high-quality images, one for each of them. So hopefully these last few videos have been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed them. Please feel free to leave comments if there's anything I've missed out that you would like me to go over. Come back to me if there's anything I can help you with. But thanks for sticking with us. All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.